What is happening, guys? Martin is back again. We're back up in this. So I'm just following on from my previous video. This is a quick video for you guys, and this video is effectively talking about why your fragrance game sucks. Now, there are a few points I want to go over in this respect of this particular video. Again, guys, if you like enjoying the content, leave your comments down below. I'm literally just doing videos now as and when and whatever comes to my mind from what I've seen and having that experience of spending the time buying multiple fragrances to literally be at the point now where I pretty much buy none. Just for, again, just a fragrance check if you want to get into it for today. This is what I'm rocking today. And again, for me, guys, I'm keeping it simple at this point. So this is Dior Intense. Now, obviously, this is a reformulated version. And I can't remember anymore when this came out. But for me, guys, you can see how much juice I have left in this. Now, for me, ultimately, again, what I'm doing now, I'm rotating my fragrances. So where I am in the UK, it's slightly colder. I mean, this is probably not even as powerful as it once was, but nonetheless, you can see how much juice I have. But for me, guys, this is a staple fragrance, and I keep this one on deck. Now, partly the reason why I want to say is that your fragrance game is going to be weak because you keep following YouTubers or keep following people just telling you whatever in these Facebook groups and different types of maybe Instagram, TikTok, always promoting you something new, always something new. And there's always a new fragrance that's come out. These houses that release these fragrances, the whole purpose of it is to obviously make money and get your money, get their dollars, get your cash, get whatever it may be, get your euros in their pocket, get your pounds in their pocket. That's what it's always been about, guys. So don't think that necessarily these companies are doing you any favors. However, not necessarily a favor as such, but there are key fragrances that have maintained a certain, how could I say, awareness since their release. You're always going to see people, well, not everybody, but if you're at a point where you think to yourself, like, look, I don't necessarily buy too many things, I don't need too many fragrances, what's a good staple fragrance? So there's going to be key ones to be aware of. You can easily do a Google search and you can find out what works for you. But again, if you stick to some simple fragrances to always have around, so whether it be Bleu de Chanel, whether you're going to have this one, obviously Dior, I'm going to say Dior Sauvage, but Dior Sauvage also, the Dior Intense is this one which I enjoy so much. Very nice fragrance for me. But yeah, this is the type of fragrance I enjoy, and that's what works for me. But it's not necessarily just about that. If you look at some of the key fragrances that are out there, as I say, Dior Sauvage, Creed Aventus, maybe not so much anymore. I think that's gone too far afield now. I don't feel it's really what it once was. There's no need to buy that anymore. But you have maybe Mont Blanc Explorer. Those type of fragrances, don't get me wrong, they could seem a bit boring for some people. But at the same time, that being said, it's more than enough to get you where probably you want to go. Now, this is the difference, and this is what the key thing is, I think, that I've noticed with a lot of people who keep buying these multiple fragrances. There are different people at different stages when it comes to these type of things. You could have somebody who's a complete novice in respect of what it is to have a fragrance, not necessarily aware necessarily of what a good fragrance is, nothing at all. They're the type of person that maybe, and I'm saying literally extreme, they're the type of person that will go and pick up something in Lidl or Aldi with a load of alcohol in it, spray that, and for them, that's enough. That may work for them. That's fine. That's fantastic. That may work for them. Now, I'm probably going to gear myself towards the people who are slightly more middle of the road, where you don't necessarily know that much about fragrances. Maybe someone's gifted you, maybe, I don't know, 1 million from Paco Rabanne, I'm about to speak in Spanish, for example. And you think to yourself, you know what, this is okay, but it's a little bit too sweet for me and I need a little bit more. Now, that's a good thing to be aware of. That's a good thing to have an idea about. We've all probably been gifted something in respect of some type of fragrance. So what I'll be saying to you then to do is think of it more along the lines of, very simply, what do I need for summer? What do I need for winter? And what do I need maybe for the office? That combination of those three key elements, I think, will be more than enough for you to get going in your fragrance journey, if that is for you. Then we've got the extreme of people who are literally the niche fraghead individuals who know it all. They know about the fragrances, they know about the sillage, they know about all the different types of notes that go into the fragrance. That's a different level. That's an extreme. That's somewhere where I think I was probably pushing towards, but then I realized obviously the financial implications of what that meant, and it came to me to say, you know what, this is just not worth it anymore. So as I say, guys, fragrances are always going to change. Moods will change, as what you want will always change. But if you keep feeling like the fragrance is never good enough, like you're missing something, that comes down to not necessarily the fragrance, in my opinion. That comes down to you as an individual. That comes down to how you feel about yourself. So again, what else could you change? Think of it this way. if I'm putting so much money into fragrances and I'm maybe neglecting my personal hygiene, I'm neglecting maybe my own grooming. You can see again, I try and keep a certain level of clean shaven to a point, and obviously I'm rocking this goatee beard for the moment. You know, again, keeping your haircut. I mean, even your wardrobe. Do you rotate your clothes? If you think about how much money you spend on fragrances, do you then rotate your clothes and also have a good level and balance with that? Now, don't get me wrong, as I say, some people do know how to keep that balance, but if you go further afield into this borderline, you could say hobby, which becomes even to borderline obsession because you're always looking for the new. What else are you neglecting? Me personally, I didn't spend a lot of money on clothes, and I try not to necessarily. But for me, I think it's important if you've got one or two key things that are important to you, or key pieces of clothing that you've maybe invested a little bit more time in, whether it be a suit, whether it be shoes, whatever it may be, you're obviously going to cherish it a little bit more. And less is more when it comes to those things, in my opinion. The same goes for fragrances. Less is more. I know for a fact that me having this as a fragrance, okay, I'm not going to wear this every day, but I have a fragrance that I really enjoy, and it's more special to me when I put this on compared to having 15, 20 other fragrances that all smell similar to this one. And again, I'm just spraying for spraying's sake. Sometimes in a day, I would even change my fragrance in like 4 or 5 times in a day because I just want to smell something else. And again, as I say, this is why you're going to suck with your fragrances, because you've got probably too many. And again, you keep mixing and matching. There's no signature scent anymore because people don't necessarily know what your smell is like anymore because you keep changing it constantly. So that's something to be mindful of. Again, ultimately, guys, I mean, what else are you spending your money on? So it doesn't just stop with fragrances, but there's other things you can maybe, if you're into fragrance and you're into smells and different things of that nature, look in other directions. So, for example, I've just got some examples here for you. So I personally, I don't necessarily I spent too much in respect of candles, so forth. This is Tom Ford's Oud Wood, and again, as a fragrance enthusiast, you know, are you also looking at candles as well? This particular fragrance or this particular candle, I've got some issues with, and I can do a review on that, and I can explain my reasons for that one. But that's something, again, if you want to do a review on this one, by all means, guys, leave your comments down below. It's something to just think about. What do you have where you live? You know, are you trying to bring something else? For the cost of what this is, basically is the cost of another fragrance. Are you considering something else as well as an option? Again, I'm going to mention, again, another example. This is a nice one as well. So this is Santal 26. So Santal 26 from Le Labo. Okay, so this is one, guys, again, very well known, I think, as it currently stands in respect of candles. Again, slightly more on the sort of expensive side, you could say, because some candles, realistically, guys, you're spending, I don't know, you know, easily maybe only £10 plus. But obviously, if you get into this, it's slightly, you could say, borderline niche, if not going even further. But nonetheless, it's still accessible. You know, what else are you putting your money into? And these are the things I'd say. And also, guys, I'd say also, self-improvement. What you're looking to do to improve yourself. Are you learning any languages? Are you learning any skills? How are you spending your evenings? How are you spending your mornings? What are you doing? Obviously, if you've got a job, you're working, but what else is there? So it's not just about the fragrance, guys, and that's the key thing I want to say for this video. It is not just about the fragrance. Think of how you can create a bit of a bubble to some extent around yourself outside of the fragrances that has a energy whenever you go and you enter a room. You know, if you're dressed a certain way, you're looking a certain way, you're smelling a certain way, yes, you got the smell, but what else do you bring? And that's something to be mindful of, guys. So again, your fragrances will always suck, in my opinion, if your focus is just the fragrance, you know, and that's the biggest thing about it. And if you buy multiple fragrances, 10, 15, 20, and keep going, you're never going to have anything that you're going to be satisfied with. So maybe it's not the fragrance, maybe it's something that you need to look at for yourself. And that's ultimately what I say on this video, guys. So thank you very much. Leave the comments, like, and subscriptions. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.